I'm going to get a little meditation real fast. My cousin was trying to make the bowl scene. And this is a lot of the meditation I do once we get the physical tempo out here again. I told y'all a lot, come with me. Through the weeks, we have like physical fitness training. We do civics, we do business, we do group economics, we do meditation. And our yoga and our spiritual yoga is a part of our workout. Because when you're a part of my body, even when you're not here, I'm still going to be going live when we do our workouts so you can join in. And most of the workouts you can do at home. Because with me, this is a full body and everything's supposed to change as you come into consciousness. If you're getting rid of the fakeness and the, how can I say it, the pseudo-academia per se, you should get rid of all of the GMO in your body because your body is your temple. So health and wealth is connected. So you must take care of your physical temple first. But I'm going to hit the little meditation I do when you just go, keep it slow. You don't have to go fast. It's not a rush because the bowl gonna know. The bowl pick up on your vibrations. So once you find your rhythm and once you find the bowl that matches you, you can pitch the volume as you press on it. So as you press, watch, I'm not gonna go faster, but I'm gonna press, it's gonna get louder, watch. The bowl pick up on your vibrations. You don't want to go fast. You don't want to go slow. Everything is practice. That's what I tell. Everything is practice. Everything is a rhythm. And as we do our spiritual yoga, everything is going to match your breathing. So just like almost per se, when you waxing on, you waxing off. It's the same thing with our breathing. I'm going to get everything on the same vibration. Just like when you're working out, I tell you, you get stronger within first. So I get your heart strong. The first thing I get you to do is know how to breathe. Once you understand how to breathe, then that you mastering a lot. The next thing I'm going to do is get you to be able to do the regular body functions. It's certain movements you should be able to do naturally. It's certain movements that the body should be able to do naturally. Like it's certain postures that I'm going to show you you'll be able to do no matter how old you are. Because that's part of what we do. That's part of our meditation. That's what we do every day. I told you your body should be a temple, a machine. So the singing bowls is connected to your spirit. It's going to pick up on your vibrations. It's going to pick up on if you're frustrated. It's going to pick up on if anything that's off balance with you. The bowl is not going to work because I do things to align. And as we get into our spiritual yoga, I have you, once we get into a spiritual state in 30 minutes, I have you totally out of body experience to where you're not thinking about nothing. When you meditate, you're connecting yourself. So it's nothing you're asking. Because you're connecting yourself with the Creator. The Creator should know your heart. So therefore, we in a relaxed state. We don't have to use psychedelic drugs to activate the DMT, that spirit molecule that's in the brain, that a lot of, no disrespect, that a lot of Europeans use to activate the spirit molecule. We don't need that. So when classes start, I told everybody that's not physical here, that's what the $100 a month that you're giving. We're going to have another physical temple out here. Those that's out here, you're going to be able to come. Your kids going to be able to come to classes. We're going to have scheduled things. You're going to have scheduled workout. We're going to have scheduled cooking classes. We're going to have scheduled turban wrapping. We're going to have scheduled business classes. We're going to have scheduled lectures because I'm a real teacher. Everything is going to be systematic. Watch when school started on February 9th. All the members, that's students, that's paying their dues. Everything is going to be emailed to you, so you don't have to even worry about missing nothing on the internet because no teachers will be on the internet. Just my ministry. So, like I said, when we use the spiritual bowls and when we use our Tibetan bowls, we use these and we also use the crystal ones. That's a part of connecting yourself when I show you how to breathe, when I show you how to work out. When we started working out, Those that's going to stick with this program, especially those that got my workout book with the smoothies and everything in it. And I tell all my empresses, the first thing you must do is eliminate all bad meat. It's hard to do, but everything worth having is hard. You must program yourself to get rid of that red meat. You must program yourself to get rid of all them juices and pops. I know you like to have them. You might have one every blue moon, but you must remove all that with natural things. Natural. Everything must be natural. Everything must be natural. You must start preparing. You got to start preparing. This is action. So you can't be conscious in your brain and you're not conscious physically. So when I talk about our chakras and everybody be giving you pseudo science, it's one chakra that activates all 6. That's a fact. So a lot of things when people be saying activating, I need to activate all these chakras. No, you need to activate one chakra. And once that chakra, once your kundalini is out of knot, and then it activates the other. It's like a link in the chain. You understand what I'm saying, Morris? This is oneness. We do things to connect ourselves. And if you can't meditate and take time to do these things by yourself and collectively, I don't know what we're doing. That's why in my school, all my kids, everybody, we're going to meditate every day. We're going to work out every day. And it becomes one. Watch me slow it down. You become like water. You put water in a bowl, it's still water. You put water in a glass, it's still water. You freeze it, it's still water. Vapor is still water. Snow is still water. All elements, and they all connect. That's synchronicity. And we just put little things in the atmosphere. But we'll do that at a later date. Isis, you can play around with that to get into. But it's an art, and we all going to do it. Like when I tell people, I don't want to be the sharpest knife in the room. That's why I'm a teacher, because we teach this science. We teach it. You want me to give you a little more? I'll give you a little more, Empress, since you just joined in. Because if we was in class, I was doing it inside. Watch, when we start having a class, the first thing we come to do for workout, we stretch, and then we meditate to where we get into a state to where we can do things. All right, I'll hit it for you. I'll hit a couple pitches for you, Empress. And if you notice, I'm doing all different pitches. And then we align certain things. As you breathe, as you move, you can come one with the bowl and with the sound. Just like when I show you how you jogging, when you're on a treadmill, you get into a state to where you connected with one. And your body starts to change because your heart is a muscle. They tell you to Star of David, that religious stuff, but that's your heart chakra. In more science, that's the male and female coming together with the unk in the middle, creating life. That's immaculate conception. Now watch me slow it down and make it stop making noise. Because you don't have to go fast to make it hum. You just connect with it. Watch after I slow my heart rate down. What happened is I started feeling my whole heart, my heartbeat in my ears, in my head, in my fingers. And then everything started one. And that's how I started breathing. And then as I start showing you the spiritual yogas and a lot of our Tai Chi moves and a lot of our positions that we can do at all times, you're going to be on the same movement. And then also I'm going to show you a lot of our moves is going to be defensive moves. But as I put it with strength, I'm going to be teaching you so much at one time. You're going to be like, man, he taught us this. What? How? When we was just breathing and meditating. A lot of the breathing and meditation movement are defensive moves. Because in Wing Chun, when I show you, especially my empresses, when I start teaching defensive moves at our temple, a lot of our blocks be strikes. So when people throw a strike at you, we're blocking it so hard, we might break their arm. You don't even have to throw a punch because your defense is going to be your best offense. We might not even have to throw a punch because we blocking and turning and striking so hard in certain pressure points, controlling them, they ain't going to want to throw a punch no more. And these are things that we teach, man. So I'm going to read a couple letters to y'all, man, and I hope everybody is excited for school start. Like I tell everybody, no one's going to miss any teaching because all students, you're going to get everything emailed to you. And if you don't see your dues in, I just won't send it to you because I'm going to show y'all more. At the end of the year, I'm going to show you what we collect and I'm going to show you what we're doing. We're going to buy us a building. We're going to buy us a temple. And when I tell Morris, everybody that's a member, we are stakeholders. Can you pass me my drink, Isis?
I was just thinking that.
Empress, listen, I promise you, I was out of balance one day. I ate some wrong. I came here. It was hot. So I went outside. It was about 100 degrees. I got into my meditation boat. I got into a state. I promise you, me and my Empress, I was out there for like 40 minutes and we was going and going and going and going and going and going. Headache was gone. Everything came out fully illuminated because those are things that work. So when I tell people, the first thing you have to do is have oneness. Listen to that. Listen to that. Listen to that vibration. You can hear this all the way outside. Megahertz. Now watch this. Now we're also going to go the other way. Watch this. Listen to the different pitch as I go the opposite clockwise. I can just tell different pitches. And every bowl is going to give a different pitch. Like when I break out all my bowls, I have bowls different sizes. This is one of my smallest ones. I have one about this small. And believe it or not, my bowl at this small make a louder pitch than this one. And when I haven't even broke out my crystal bowls because I break them a lot. I'm going to be honest with you. My crystal bowls are very, very, very sensitive. If you don't rub them the right way, I'm trying to tell you, when I first got into my spiritual bowls or my chakra bowls, I broke a gang of crystal ones first. And the crystal bowls are more expensive because I have a lady blow them. When I say blow them, she make them. But I get these from my one of my empresses from Tibet, where I be getting all these from. All my chakra stones. You got yours on, Isis?
Yeah.
Come here, let me show the people my chakra stones. I got a lady from Tibet that make me this stuff. And all my family members have them. This is my cousin Isis, see that?
Peace.
But look at my Buddha she made me, handmade. Look at that. Y'all see that Buddha? I'm talking about she be hooking me up. This come from one of my nobles. He be hooking me up. But yeah, man. Them bowls. And at the metaphysical temple, they be having classes. And guess who all be there? It don't be none of us. I'll be the only one there. It be all different nationalities, I promise you. They say, hey, Isis.
Oh, please.
But when I was going to the classes, when I was going to the spiritual classes with the singing bowls, all white people. A couple, let me see, what they call themselves. What do they call themselves? What did she call herself? Dang, I forget what she called herself. Because she wasn't Korean. She were, what a lot of them nationalities do call themselves that be doing nails?
Filipino?
No, another one.
Vietnamese.
Vietnamese, yeah! Yeah, that's my dad. Yeah. So it'd be a lot of them that say they Vietnamese. Because one lady was in there, she's like, are you Chinese, Korean? She's like, no, I'm Vietnamese. I ain't Vietnamese. I was like, whoa. You know, but as the class was going, I do a lot of the singing bowls. And a lot of the bowls, I activate all the different chakras. And it'd be amazing when I do things and when I come in my native gear, I usually have my turban. Sometimes I have my fez on, but it'd be too hot. So a lot of times I wear my self-wrapped turban and I wear my garb and I have all my jewels on and I have my talisman bag. I got a talisman bag with a lot of people don't, I got a talisman bag with a lot of my little small stones and a lot of stuff, a lot of other things that I carry with me when I'm going places, especially when I'm getting on the plane. I have my little talisman bag because I'm an adept. And so it's a lot of things that I do in certain groups a lot of people don't know about. And they be like, man, I seen Noble come out there and be like, yeah, he's an adept. And that's what I'll be telling Moors. In Moorish science, an adept is supposed to be a sheik or a sheikist. But all adepts are not sheiks and sheikis because all adepts are not Moors per se. It's the science. So that's what I'll be telling people. I know a lot of different nationalities that know this science way more than Moors because they're sons of Muslims. And Moors don't be catching on nothing I be saying. I be like, they say they sons of Muslims. And so when I first met her, me and my Empress went in the store. It was a couple of European people in there, and I go in, and so no disrespect. And the little European girl in there, they playing with the bowls. You know, I come in, they're like, oh, you know how to make them? They trying to make them sing, and the owner in the store, she cracking up, and they in there with their whole family. So I grabbed the bowl. She like, you know how to do it? We've been trying all day. I'm like, well, I'm one with a lot of things, and we got to talking because they was asking me about my fez and XYZ. And, you know, I love to talk about this fez. I love to talk about my rights as a Moorish American and law and civics and history and spirituality. I'll talk to anybody all day for an hour. Got to talking for hours. She was like, feel my hand, had her shaking. Had his dad say, Assalamu alaikum, because his dad finally admitted that he was a Scottish Rite Mason because I was really looking at his stance and his hand gestures. And when I did something, when I did my little gestures and put his light out, he introduced himself to this. And I'm like, nah, this ain't, I'm like, nah, man, I know what all that haram beef is. I know who killed him, Jubal, and had a jubilee, but also I'm an adept. So I don't fall with a lot of the mystic stuff. But I know the story, so don't get it twisted. I know what y'all killed him and where y'all buried him in a shallow grave and what tools you used and everything that's on that tomb. But Moors don't know, and that's every Moor that's going to be under my auspices and teachings, you're going to be able to stand proud with your fez. But that's just a little bit about that singing bowl, y'all, that you're going to get in class. So, we 17 minutes in, but like I said, I always love to explain who I am. And that's why everybody under these teachers, under our classes, even your children, they're going to be proud. Everybody's going to wear their fez. Everybody's going to be righteous. That's why I be telling y'all, I'm like, what kind of teacher do you have? What kind of husband do you have? Because it's all types. And if you're an adept, see, I'm a master teacher and I'm not tooting my own horn. I know how to work with my hands and my feet and spiritually, just like in martial arts. See, I'm a crazy martial arts head. Ancient Kung Fu, all that. I don't like that new Kung Fu with the guns and all that, with them Europeans in there, pow, pow, shooting. I like real martial arts. And when you saw the martial artists back then, the masters, they had the so-called swastika. That's not even a swastika. Everything mean different things. So in that manifestation, that swastika was like orthodox, meaning they were spiritual masters as well. Meaning they knew the physical combat, but they were spiritual as well. They can go into a higher self and really beat you, especially if you get angry. I get into a higher state, get into my meditation, get into my drunkenness per se, activate that DMT, activate that spiritual molecule, and go to a certain way, which I was telling y'all earlier, the Wing Chun, the sticky hands. As I get into a stance, a lot of stuff, I'm coming straight forward. It's a lot, I told you, a lot of my defenses, you know, I don't have to punch because a lot of defenses are designed to inflict pain. So I'm hitting in certain places. I'm hitting pressure points to where I don't give a damn how big you are. I'm going to control you. And as I'm controlling you, I'm hitting you in those areas that's very vital. Once you put that hand on your eyebrow right here and go down right here, what you think right here? What's right here, Isis, when you put your hands right here? What do you feel after you slow down, go right here? Take your glasses off. Right here. No, right here. What's that?
Oh, your temple.
So, but what is that though? Yes, it's your temple, but what is it? It's your pressure point.
Oh, it's strong.
Absolutely, it's strong. So if I hit you in that pressure point, I don't have to use all this forced air. If I hit you, because when you use a lot of air, I hit you in the pressure point, immediately.
Oh, that's knock them out.
Immediately, your body's going to get either hot and cold, and if your body temperature raise up too fast or go down too slow, immediately, boom.
Pass out.
Just like when Wendy Williams, they saw her fall, she was under them bright lights. See, I've been under bright lights before. That if your body temperature goes up so fast, boom, you can automatically fall out. So it's certain pressure points that I hit to where I don't care how big you are, automatically your body's going to do two things. It's going to react a certain way. Either it's going to react positively or negatively. 99.9 times it's going to.
What's the positive?
You know how people say, I can take it. They might not drop in 1 second. They might fall in 3 seconds.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? So what I talk about is science. Science. And that's what this more science is. It's science. Science is not no made up stuff. Things that can be proven over and over and over and over. When I talk about subjective and objective, those are two things, subjective and objective. Like my empress might say, man, you the handsomest man in the world. Yeah, to her. But to some other people, like, man, he got them big old eyes. Look how black he is. He ugly. So subjective and objective. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Subjective and objective. It's some things that agreed upon across the board. It's some things that's your own understanding. We got to know the difference, subjective and objective. We must understand the difference from connotation and denotation. We must understand the difference from arbitrary explanation of things. So we don't teach, man. But I didn't even do my Moorish American prayer. But I do my Moorish American prayer. And it's Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Allah is my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I'm not, I was going to get into my benediction, but I don't want to be too long. But y'all know my benediction, my talisman benediction. Y'all ever heard my talisman benediction? My homeboy was like, nah, man, get that talisman benediction. All right. He like, what'd he say? My talisman benediction went out there talking about the benediction of Allah, and may the benediction of Allah protect you and illuminate you. And even though a portion of our essence is weakness, inconsistency, instability, it's still the greater portion of us that's divine. And I also say, may Allah, may Buddha, may Confucius, whatever name that you give him praise, whatever name that you call that inner self, may it bless you, may it give you bliss, may it give you everlasting peace. Because we got to understand some things, man. Words are spells. So if we understand the connotation and the denotation of words, no one can write a spell on us. Right? So, hey, man. There's some craziness going on in this world, man. So I told y'all I'm always going to illuminate stuff to y'all. I'm always going to show you documents, because the first document I want to show you is this one. Let me see this one. No, I don't want to do that yet. Let me do this the right way, y'all. I'm sorry. I got to do this the right way. I must do this the right way. So the next thing I want to say, because everybody be asking me about when I speak about more science temples and doing things the right way and how Noble Drew Ali set up the temple. And people be saying, you don't need this no more. You don't need that no more. Well, I tell you, that's all hogwash and bull crap. Because if the law stands yesterday, today, and it's the same today, yesterday, we got to rock with it. So when Moors say they teaching more science and they say they part of the more science temple of America, I'm not talking about nobody making no fake cars telling this and mixing stuff and saying that they adepts. And in more science, a sheik is an adept. See, they can't give you that excuse like, oh, I'm not an adept, because in more science, a sheik and a sheikess is an adept. So if they get up there and talking that hogwash and they talk about they not an adept, you not no sheik neither. See, they be wanting to be sheik just to be like a preacher in a church. You got all these so-called sheiks that don't know a damn thing, but you must be an adept. And you must have the teachings. You must have all the holy books. They don't have none. So I'm going to show you some stuff when people be asking me about the Moorish Science Temple of America. And I'm going to show you what you get Even though these papers, if I'm operating wrong and I'm being disrespectful and I'm acting like a domestic terrorist, I'm wrong. Papers don't mean a damn thing. You being right and operate under the laws mean it. Because we abide by the laws. Why? Because we abide by the Constitution. So the first paper I'm going to show you is our Moorish Science Temple of America, our International Consulate of American Moors, our Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, the founder, which was on 259 North Pulaski Road, Chicago, Illinois Republic. The CCRD, our 1010-5905 number. Also Leviticus 25 and 10, which on the Liberty Bell. This is an amendment for Khari Hakeem Goodman Bey, Department of Defense, file number 117. Resolution to make amendment to Religious Corporations Affidavit of Organization, document 1010-5905 BK 521, page 579, August 1st, 1928 AD, 2:52 p.m. Whereas Moorish Americans are trust corpus of the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali's 1928 fee simple absolute, vast estate, irrevocable, express trust. Whereas Moorish Americans are the fiduciary, trustee, and beneficiaries of all said trust property. Moors, you got to know what that means. You got to know what that means. And then these Moors reading stuff to you, and they're not telling you the truth, getting you in trouble. I'm telling you. Whereas we are the divine Moorish consulate post for the affairs of the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish Science Temple of America. I'm just showing you paperwork when you get from the temple. None of this stuff mean nothing. None of this stuff mean nothing if we don't take it to the world courts. I'm going to show you everything. We are counted in the Moorish vital statistics, but that's our own body. Moorish Science Temple of America, the International Consulate of American Moors, Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Certificate of Adoption. Number 1, claim of adoption by proclamation of free national name and nationality. Printed, diluted, full name, Khari Hakeem Goodman, on the birth date of the 19th day of the month of January in the year of 91, DA 1977. At the time, when I was born, with the birth color or race, black, has been adopted by claimant and proclaimed the race Asiatic, nationality, Moorish America, and one free national name, Bey. For this trust corpus is with this proclamation by the claim of this person, born in the city of Hillsborough, in the county of Hillsborough, in the county of United States, in the United States of America, by the parents' parties, my mother name, Willie Inez Goodman Finney, my father's name, Larry Ted Goodman, blah, 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 by the unity for the persons adopted with this knowledge and claims as a member, adopted in this ecclesiastical, body politic, and corporate, by the truthful language claims. Number 4, for the person adopted by claimant is within claim, transfer of rights, interest of the birth certificate, number grantor, number 109, 1977-012265. Now, remember I told you when Obama said in 2010 that you have a right of a nationality and the claim of child replaces the birth certificate? Y'all don't be listening, do y'all? But let's finish. Certificate of Enrollment, National Bureau of Vital Statistics. What do I mean when I say National Bureau of Vital Statistics? I'm going to show you on one of the back of my cards. What that say? Moorish Bureau of Vital Statistics. For what? Registered Muslims. When I tell you somebody printing you something and then you pulling that stuff out, and when somebody can easily prove that all your stuff is fraud. You say, yep, I'm part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. They say, okay. Then they try to look you up. You just said you just committed fraud. You just committed fraud, and you don't even know it. I just told you did. That's why I be telling Negro, blacks, and color, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. That's not your Miranda right. That's your 5th Amendment. So let's finish. National Bureau of Vital Statistics, in accordance with the true policies of Noble Drew Ali and Presidents Abraham Lincoln and Andrew Johnson. This document exists as a certification that the individual indicated below has taken and subscribed an oath of amnesty and reconstruction. And then I heard a Moor talk about his sheik said, oh, we don't have to do all that. I'm like, okay. Which is an affirmation of the Emancipation Proclamation with the allegiance to the Republic Constitution of the United States of America. I keep telling y'all, a lot of these Moors that talk about they sheiks, you're not a sheik because a sheik supposed to be an adept. Your wisdom is very tittle, and you're giving yourself a title. You out of line. Including the 13th Amendment with 20 sections and the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic nation. This individual has also proclaimed a free national name, race, nationality, and religion as follows. Title, Noble K. Goodman Bay. Race, Asiatic. Born date, 19th January 91, DA 1977. Date of my proclamation, January 26, 2016. Chicago, Illinois. Nationality, Moorish American. My birthplace was Florida. Religion, old time Islamism. The free national name Bay must be annexed. Must be annexed. When you let somebody tell you you get rid of your so-called slave name, you got to be a fool. You don't know nothing about your family crest then. But the free national Bay must be annexed and a suffix to the slave first last name of the individual. And when people be saying slave last name, I don't rock with that because my family don't come from slaves. My family owned land. All my family documents, we were free with fences. My whole family. So I ain't rocking with that slave stuff. I know where all my family were from. Abyssinia, which is connotated Ethiopia. So whatever. In all public and private records throughout the states and nations, upon the complete implementation of Section 16 and 17 of the 13th Amendment with 20 sections to the U.S. Constitution, the individual will receive a full permanent ancestral name, assisting through the Freedom Bureau Act of 1865 and protects guaranteed under a federal mandate through the United States government. Federal classifications, unique identifier number 1237-7. I mean, and none of this stuff mean anything if you're not right, because we ain't took this to the world course yet. We ain't took, all this is just self-identifying. All this is proclaiming, declaring, have due process. And if you say you part of somebody, politic, and then if you say you create a body, they can look you up. If you say you part of the Moorish Temple of America, when people be printing you cards and they put some 1010 number on there and they just using numbers fraudulently, you shouldn't even want to do nothing fraudulently. Why? You want a card that bad? That don't mean nothing. Moorish Temple of America, International Consulate of Moorish Americans, Ecclesiastical Body Politic and Local Government, Moorish Bureau of Enrollment and Affairs, State of Illinois, County Cook, Moorish Allodial Title, Deed, Commercial Affidavit of Convenience, Adoption and Enrollment. I solemnly affirm that the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish Temple of America as holder in due course. You got to know what due course means. You got to know what due course means. And claimants of equity and fee simple absolute of the North and Southwest Amexum has redeemed me as creditor in our chapter 47 of our Moorish Quran. My offense, appellation, all that stuff. And this don't mean nothing if you're not operating right. Egypt, the capital empire and dominion of Africa, you know all that. Our divine constitution and bylaws, all that. Let me see how long we got on here. We good. So I ain't even, because I'm just gonna read some letters to y'all and have y'all like, wow. And be like, yep, I told you. So you can correct anybody with these false teachings of Moorish Temple when people operating as domestic terrorists. So here go one of my dispensation papers right here. These are my originals, but I got them in plastic because I don't want them to get wet. I messed them up before. But this is the Moorish Temple of America baptism certificate. Name given at birth, my name, free national name, you know, Noble K. Goodman Bay, true race, Asiatic, nationality, American, Moorish American. Don't say no Moroccan on here. When people be telling y'all we Moroccans, that ain't Moorish Temple of America. Now, you can say whatever you want to. A person can sit up here and say whatever you want to, but that ain't no teachings of our prophet. Said our nationality is Moorish American. Our true race is Asiatic. Our religion is Islamism. That's just flat out. The CCRD. Y'all know what the CCRD is? Do y'all remember I read a letter to y'all? I'm gonna show you what the CCRD is, for I'm gonna tell you what people be lying to you. You know what the CCRD is? Do y'all know what the CCRD is? Huh? Anybody know what the CCRD is? I'm gonna tell you what the CCRD is, y'all. It's the CCR doc, the CCR, the county, or it's the Cook County Recorder of Deeds. Listen, Cook County Recorder of Deeds. So write that down, for you can keep that in your hippocampus. The CCRD is the Cook County Recorder of Deeds. That's a doc number. Remember I told you all the 1010 number and everybody be making up stuff up lying? I'm going to read the letter to y'all about the 1010, what the 1010 number really is. That's the CCRD doc number. That's all that, the CCD, y'all see that? The CCRD? That's all it is a doc number, that 1010, where everybody be acting like that number is the tax exempt receipt, some tax exempt status. That's not our tax exempt status. The Moorish Science Temple of America have one. And I'm going to read the letter to you, telling you what the CCRD really consists of. So you can be like, man, people really be lying to you. Absolutely. One that passes this baptismal certificate has been redeemed by the illustrious Prophet Noble Ali and delivered by fee, an fee, simple absolute deed that restore all rights to properties. Said person has been revoked from the St. Peter's Trust and the Magna Carta Charter Christian enrollment that held my person in bondage. I am a Muslim of the West, a descendant of the Moroccans, a descendant of the Moroccans, and born in America. We, the supreme grand body, bestow privileges and benefits and grant dispensations of said persons by the birthright and original inhabitant of North and South Western shores of Amexima. That's right. Cook County Record of Deeds. Oh, we're going to illuminate this. I told you. An adept don't lie to you. An adept wants you to be an adept as well. And I'm just a teacher. And a teacher needs students. For we could come together. When I show y'all that this group economics, we could have been had a lot. We could have been had our schools established if we had the right head. Well, I'm here. And I'm asking all Moors to come and follow. Just like our prophet did. Come one, come all. We ain't collecting money just to be put in our pocket. We collect money to build. We're tax exempt. This is real. My school, the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School, what's my curriculum? More science. I'm real. Here go oh, that's the front part. Allah, my adapt chamber. When all these Moors talk about the adapt chamber, and they won't even show you that. They won't even show you nothing. They just be talking. And I say, well, what's the triple role of the adapt chamber? They won't show them like they some secret Masons doing the same thing that a Negro, Black, and colored Mason will do. Won't tell you the truth. Allah, adapt chamber, 720, Muslim missionary decrees certificate. Adapt chamber. Why they won't show and approve? So let me read it to you. Supreme Grand Body and Supreme Grand Council of the Moorish Science Temple of America in Mecca have been vested with the sovereign powers by the great God Allah, his illustrious prophet Noble Ali, to confer degrees of a Muslim of the West to a person or persons that has been raised 180 degrees from a shallow grave, son of a widow in the North Gate. I, Noble K. Goodman Bey, my obligation as a Muslim missionary by free will, the obligation of the nobility of the elect of the Moorish Science Temple of America teaches the Asiatic of North, South, and Central America to love instead of hate. See, based on our charter, it's certain things that we're supposed to abide by if these Negroes say they charter right. So if they charter right, ask them whether they charter say what they supposed to teach only. If they don't know that word, then they ain't charter right. I'm telling you. As I travel the burning sands from the east to the west in 39 celestial steps with my staff of comfort, my companion, the beast of burden, and my Hebrew master logo for perfection. What did he just say? My Hebrew master logo. Just like in your Moorish Quran to say, you priests of Cap Vistos, this Hebrew master is the deity of Allah. This Hebrew master logos of perfection. I do here upon my holy Quran, circle 7, demonstrate my degrees to raise fallen humanity from its imperfections with the degrees of social duties, justice, charity, gratitude, and sincerity. In my travels, Allah guide my feet in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And I shall not give ear to what? Falsehood, hypocrisy, and deceit. As I travel the burning sands, I possess my charter of warrant and my dispensation, my authority. This is my authority and my charter. When I be telling people, I say, I don't know what they're talking about. If they're talking about their adepts, they should be able to break this down. They should have it. I possess my charter of warrant and dispensation, my authority to pass through all ports unmolested with my divine rights and privileges. All sons of a Muslim must hold true to its obligation to nobles, Muslims, and the Mohammedan by words and deeds. Here go my other 720 Allah. May Allah bless and protections always be upon the house of Bey, title of nobility, Certificate, Noble K. Goodman Bey, registered of the Noble House of Bey, a descendant of the Royal House of Judah. Who? The Royal House of Judah. Come on, man. Stop telling them people, stop telling them Moors, stop lying to you. If they say they're an adept, this ain't no European masonry. This is Kemetic science. This is masonry because it's our science, but this ain't no westernized European Freemasonry. This ain't no clandestine masonry. No disrespect to nobody. House of Bey, the title of nobility, 720, Moorish American Muslim. And we ain't even got into the letters yet. We just getting started. Here go another of my noble decree, 720. We, the Supreme Grand Body and the Grand Council of the Moorish Science Temple of America, granted sovereign powers by the great God Allah and his illustrious prophets, Noble Drew Ali, greetings to whom it may concern. By the powers of the Charter of Warrant and Dispensation, this Supreme Grand Body bestow a title of nobility to member Kari Hakim Goodman Bey, that is descended from the Royal House of Judah and that of the House of David. So remember, once we do this the right way, our Prophet Noble Drew Ali was doing our own census, and we were supposed to take this to the world courts. That's why the work it still need to be finished, legally and lawfully. By the power of this decree, it is so ordered and commanded by our illustrious Prophet Noble Drew Ali, agents of the Christian Church, the Vatican, or any other corporation in the Roman Curia cannot molest, trespass, or violate our divine rights granted by the great God Allah. By the power of this decree, it is so ordered and commanded by our illustrious Prophet Noble Drew Ali to register all nobles of the house of El to their title of nobility, pursuant to Leviticus 25 and 10. Right? Oh, there's other than the 720 dispensation. Did I read this one part to you? We, the Supreme and Body and the Council of the Moorish Science Temple of America, derive its powers from the great God, Allah, blah, blah, blah. The said Supreme Grand Body and Council is authorized and empowered to initiate and confer degrees of said temple upon any persons or persons duly qualified, and approved in accordance with the established forms, usages of the laws and edicts of the illustrious Prophet Noble Drew Ali and the Moorish Science Temple of America, its jurisdiction to administer to all true members all the privileges and benefits to all Muslims of the West, Noble K. Goodman Bey. 720 degrees is hereby granted dispensation of said debt as here to the vast estate and express trust of our Prophet Noble Drew Ali in the dominion of Kush, northeast and southeast Africa, and northwest and southwest with his father's dominion. Blah, blah, blah. You got to know what that stuff means and don't take it out of context, which a lot of Moors do because they just make stuff up. I, Kari Goodman Bey, do solemnly affirm in the presence of Almighty God that I will hereby faithfully support, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Union of the States thereunder, and that I will, in like manner, abide by and faithfully support all acts of Congress passed during the existing rebellion with reference to slaves, so long, so forth, as not repealed, modified, or held void by Congress or by decision of the Supreme Court, and that I will, in like manner, abide by and faithfully support all proclamations of the President made during the existing rebellion having reference to slaves, so long, so forth, as not modified or declared void by decision of the Supreme Court. So help me God. This is the United States of America, my free national republic, 1774. U.S. President Abraham Lincoln, 1863. This is the amnesty oath. And none of this stuff means nothing if we don't take it to the higher courts, legally and lawfully, right? So remember, when Moors just be printing you stuff on a computer, if it ain't the right thing, stop wasting your time. When I said the Moorish Bureau of Vital Statistics for registered Muslims, you should, all that's on the back of the Moorish ID cards. And it don't mean nothing if you're not operating right. None of it means nothing if you're not operating right. You see that 1010 number on the front of there when the Moors be lying? That's a 1010 number. What's this for? This travel ID is just for the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's it. Point blank. They can lie to you all day if they want to. Nationality card is just for the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's all it is for. I'm covering up my address and stuff. That's all it's for the Moorish Science Temple of America, period. It don't replace nothing. If somebody told you that, hey, oh well. That ain't no teachings that ain't teaching I'm gonna teach you. And this is our Tax exempt card. Let me show y'all. I want to cover some stuff up. Let me see. Y'all see that on there where it say tax exempt on the bottom? We got a tax exempt number too. Let me show that on my other platform. If y'all can see it, where it say tax exempt on the bottom. So I don't know what they be talking about. They be more to be making stuff up. Because they be want to act like this stuff means something and like they your God. And I tell you, I'm going to tell you the laws. I'm going to tell you the real law and how it really works. Noble Ali did a solid. For us, he was creating something. For what? For self-identifying us. For we can take this science to the world courts. So we can proclaim before you think about any reparations. You got to be repaired back to your original state. So watch, I'm going to read this letter. Remember I told y'all about that CCRD and how people be lying. Watch this. And everybody should be Islam, because I'm not going to never lie to you. And I'm an adept. I'm a scholar. I want you to know. I created a school. And if more just be donated, we'll be prosperous. And we'll be able to shut everything down, all the lying stuff down, all the raggediness, all these more just collecting dollars and been collecting dollars for years. And I'm like, you sitting y'all offering this tax exempt, no schools, no literature. Man, I've written like 11 and 12 books. I done written 11 and 12 books already. I'm getting ready to write my 20th book. We got to write the literature. Who else going to write our science? And all these mores are doing is scamming y'all. And I'm like, we got to write the science. Who else going to write it? Come on, man. Now watch this. January 8th, 2016. Anybody can get it. If people on the day following, oh well. I don't care. Karen A. Yarbrough, recorder of deeds, register of Torrens, titles, Cook County, Illinois. July 8th, 2016. Sheik Lionel Love L. Sheik is Malta D. Love L. More Science Temple of America. Remember when I told y'all, I'll never hide nothing from y'all. Everybody is not going to be always operating right. And then if a person figure out something and then they don't come back to the body of people and they don't give it to the people, and if they hide it, then that's something wrong. So I'm going to read something for people, and you can ask if it's been demonstrated, because we shouldn't hide nothing from nobody if we have questions, especially if we're doing things legally and lawfully. We don't want to lead the people in a burning house. That ain't my mission. But in the past, it says Sheik, and Sheik is Love L. In the past few days, the Cook County Recorder of Deeds, the CCRD, has received several forms of emails corresponding from you regarding concerns that you have involving the organizational documents and other documents relating to the Moorish Science Temple of America, the MSTA. I'm writing to address these documents and clarify the role that the CCRD has as the custodian of the public records. Many of your concerns were raised in the form of numbered questions. The CCRD's response to these questions is as follows. In her capacity as the registrar of Torrens titles, what is the full scope of the fiduciary duty owed to document 10105905 and the resulting entity, the Moorish Science Temple of America, as a body politic named in the said document? Here's the response. After reading your question, I assume that you are asking what's the recorder's duties and responsibilities are in relation to this and other documents in this regard. To the recorder has two specific duties and responsibilities. First, the recorder is responsible for recording documents that are entitled to be recorded. Second, the recorder has the responsibility of being the custodian of all recorded documents. Document 10105905 is an affidavit of organization under the Religious Corporation Acts 805 ILCS 110 ET.ESQ. Under the Religious Corporations Act. There are specific requirements that need to be met in order for a document to be recorded pursuant to that act. See act that I just gave you. And chapter 36 in that act, 110. But at the time that this document was presented to the CCRD, it met all of those requirements and it was recorded. As a custodian for the document and other recorded documents, unless specifically restricted by law, the documents are made available for purchase by public. See a law 55 ILCS 5-4-12002. In other words, if a customer requests to purchase a certified or non-certified copy of this document from the CCRD will provide such a copy to the customer if they pay a required fee. I'm telling you. The CCRD has no other duties and responsibility relating to this particular document. In other words, the CCRD is simply a custodian of the record and makes this available to the public for a fee. What are the procedures for filing documents under the 805 ILCS Religious Corporations Act related to property, mortgages, notes? Response: real estate related documents such as property, deeds, mortgages, or notes are not recorded under this Religious Corporations Act. For the recording requirement for real estate related documents, please see the Recording Statute 55 ILCS 5 ETSEQ. Hold on, let me see. Hold on, y'all. Sure, it's all good. It's all good, man. One of my guys was talking to me, but yeah. And then they say, what are the procedures for including the Moorish Science Temple of America to the list of body politics on file with the Cook County Record of Deed? The CCRD does not maintain a list of body politics. With this said, as mentioned above, the CCRD accepts documents relating to the organization and corporation of religious entities under the Religious Corporations Act. The document that you are concerned with, the document 1010-5905, has already been recorded by the CCRD. Are y'all listening to me? Isn't it true that in accordance to provisions made possible for body politics under the home rule, that documentation and law of the Moorish Science Temple of America as a body politic are applicable to the management of said trust? Listen to the response, y'all. Listen to this clearly. The CCRD is unaware of what specific documentation and laws are applicable to the management of any trust maintained by or for the benefit of the Moorish Science Temple of America. I would like to note that the Religious Corporations Act states that trustees of religious organizations shall have care, custody, and control of the real and personal property of that organization. So you remember I just read my birth certificate and all that, my adoption papers. Now, in order for somebody to be the trustee, what did you have to have, Isis? In order for somebody to be a trustee, it must be something to be what? Trusted with, right? Mm-hmm. So let's dig. If it ain't no money, you ain't no trustee of no money, right?
No.
If it ain't no property, you ain't no trustee of no property, are you?
Nope.
So what's the last thing? Physical person, right?
Yep.
So are y'all following me?
No trust, no person.
It ain't no, when people tell you it's some money, ain't no money. When people telling you it's some property, ain't no property. I'll show you the property. It's an abandoned temple. It's foreclosure. I'll go in there and show you. We can buy it right now and put a no trespassing on there. If we see any Negro with a feds on taking a picture, we assume. I'm telling you, it's all fraud. Don't get mad at me. Have this office done any competent research to determine who are the current executive rulers of the ADAPT chamber of the Moorish Science Temple of America, sheiks with powers and duties similar to that of a trustee? Listen to this. Response: it is my understanding that the current sheiks of the Moorish Science Temple of America are reflected in recorded documents that aim document 1010-5905. If there were any changes to the trustees of this organization that are not reflected in these documents, the CCRD would not be aware of them. So now watch, let me break some down for you. Same way the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science and School set up. I had to set up a certain way with certain trustees, and our Noble Drew Ali used duality robes. He called them sheiks. So it's a certain process. And so what the CCRD saying is, if they changed sheiks or whatever they did, they ain't do it on paper. We ain't did no record. They ain't changed their paperwork. Are you following me? I think this is too simple. Is this office aware that only the founder, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, has the authorization to issue document 1010-5905, and such has been the case since 8/1/1929? Here go the response. Although I am unclear what you mean by issuing the document, but part of the recorder's duties include maintaining recorded documents and providing certified and non-certified copies of recorded documents for sale to the public. So what they saying is like, Negro, what the hell you talking about? That's what they saying. Next question. Is this office aware that the unauthorized issuance and collections of funds resulting from said issuance constitutes a breach of registrar's fiduciary duty as custody, criminal fraud, embezzlement, etc.? Here go their response. Listen to this and listen to this clearly. Listen to this clearly, because I don't care if something sound right to you. If it ain't law, if it ain't legally, it's hogwash and it's connotated arbitrarily, B to the S. Your position is legally and factually incorrect. Your position is legally and factually incorrect. So I don't give a damn if somebody get on, stand in front of some court, talk about they finna go in here and handle something, but they ain't gonna tell you the outcome. Because why? Your position is legally and factually incorrect. And in the court of law, there's no excuse of not knowing the law in the court of law. Contempt of court. I can lock you up for 72 hours. I'm telling you law. I done seen it. Please see the relevant statutory authority referenced above. In some of your other correspondence, you indicate that the CCRD has refused to file certain real estate and non-real estate related documents and index them under Trust 1010-5905. To be clear, document 1010-5905 is not a trust document. Are y'all listening to me? Let me say this again, emphatically, with a silver tongue. 1010-5905 is not a trust document. This document is simply an affidavit of organization under the Religious Corporation Act. What this means is that the document serves as a record that the Moorish Science Temple of America is organized, incorporated as a religious corporation under the Religious Corporation Act. Remember, because I'm going to show y'all, first it was the civics, then he did religious. Y'all got to understand why he did that. It's a reason. Because remember, Negro, blacks, and colored were just 3/5. To be counted as a complete 5/5, you needed your nationality and spirituality. So I hope you walking with me and got your big boy boots on. I hope you're following what I'm saying. Okay. The responsibility lies with the MSTA. If you are having difficulty recording certain documents in our office, please refer to the recording requirements referred in the legal authority cited above. Finally, you indicated that you would like the MSTA to place employees in the CCRD for various purposes. State law clearly indicates that you have no authority to demand that you employ members of your congregation in our office. The recorder has the right to control the internal operations of her office. See Law 551 LCS 5-3-5005.2. I'm telling you, man, people just be lying to y'all. So we destroyed that real fast. Hey, now, before I even get into teaching, I'm going to show y'all something. And I'm going to have y'all go on Amazon because we get ready to do part 2. Because I'm going to give y'all these letters in part 2. So I had an empress hit me up. She was like, no, boy, I got this Marcus Garvey type letter off Amazon for $3,000. You want to look at it? And see, he go, and I went on Amazon, right? And I saw it. I went on Amazon and I saw it. And the first thing I did, I told her, I said, you don't have an original. She like, my mother is the artist. So when my mother paint, what does she do? She make copies off the original. Because if it's an original, that means it's only one. So how can you be selling them on Amazon and you mass producing them? And I'm like, you don't have an original, it's a copy. And so what you pay for is a copy of a letter. And I'm going to show you the letter because I have them. I'll be telling people before you do anything, I'm connected to the right source. I have elders at Cambridge, Oxford. I have colleagues that have their own museums in England with documents. So look, let me show y'all. This was on Amazon, right? This on Amazon. And so my mother, an artist, and I'm going to show y'all the frame. I'm going to show y'all when I put it together for one of my empresses, because I'm doing it for her for a way cheaper price. Here go the letter. I got all the pictures. I got them printed professionally. Watch this. Here go the letter right here, y'all. And I'm going to put it on an original paper document, on a cardstock document. Here go the letter right here, and I'm going to read it to y'all. And if y'all want them, I'll get them for y'all. Hey, Empress, I see you. Watch me read the letter that she paid she paid $140 for shipping. Listen to what it says. Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League, August 1929. He created of one blood all nations of men to dwell on the face of the earth.